If your penis is no longer hard, such as it used to be if you felt exhausted. If you notice that you're retreating from intimacy, not out of desire, but since your body simply isn't reacting, then hear that it might not be getting older. Might be something far more straightforward and more easily rectified. A shortfall in 3 particular vitamins that your body is subtly screaming about. Because my name is Dr. Mohit Khera, a men's medical expert with more than 3 decades of expertise assisting males in restoring vigor, sexual arousal, and energy. They believed their confidence was gone. Well, here's what most medical professionals won't say. Many elderly men like you don't lack desire. They lack the stamina to circulate and hormone assistance, and typically the solution doesn't begin with a drugstore. Begins in your kitchen. I'll demonstrate to you today which 3 every male over 60 should take vitamins, taking and how they might aid in the restoration of erections that occur naturally, increase testosterone and return your energies to life. Remains with me, since in just I will also disclose the most. Men make a risky error when taking these vitamins and how to stay away from them. Beginning tonight. Prior to getting started, be sure to hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss another essential health tip. Is created for men over 60 in particular, and if this enters 1 in the message, that speaks to you. If it doesn't, type 0, leave a comment and tell me how to make this information even more beneficial for you all. Okay, let's go right to the point. Beginning with the earliest and most forgotten secret to reviving blood flow and men over 60 having natural erections. It's a substance that your body used to make easily, particularly after spending time outside. But as you become older, your circulation does too. I'm referring to performance and energy. Sunshine is another name for vitamin D. Nevertheless, for you, it might be the basis for gaining your strength and returning to confidence. Let me explain why. 1. Vitamin D. The circulatory flash of vitamin D plug. I can still clearly recall when I first occupied the seat beside a 67-year-old man named Paul was perceptive, considerate, and profoundly angry. The doctor stated, "I still want to be near my spouse, yet my body just won't comply." More with that silence. I've heard one confession from during the years, hundreds of men, and more frequently, the initial step to restoring that spark isn't always easy. Vitamin is a miraculous medication. Vitamin D is among the most important undervalued nutrients in relation to when it comes to men's health. We typically consider it merely something you receive from the sun or a necessity for children to have robust bones, but vitamin D actually has a direct and significant impact on male performance. The switch itself is what facilitates the opening of your blood vessels and supplies blood that is rich in oxygen throughout your body, especially the parts that describe your masculinity. Without it, circulation lowers down energy levels and closeness becomes more challenging than it must. More than 40% of senior citizens are vitamin D deficient, is what I mean. Good males who work out and eat healthily continue to wonder, why? I no longer feel like myself. When your body doesn't make enough vitamin D, less nitric oxide, a necessary chemical for sex and blood flow. It's about more than just sex. Endurance, lucidity, and trust. The good news is that repairing a deficiency does not necessitate complex 15 to 20 minutes of morning steps. More salmon, tuna being eaten by sunshine, or dairy products with added nutrients, and adding vitamin D3 of superior grade can drastically change the way your body functions. I've observed those who were hardly able to complete a walk feeling energized all of a sudden around the block. They made contact with their partners once more. This is chemistry, not theory, and it's among the easiest methods to recover your power. But just as strong as a vitamin D is that it can only carry you so far. Due to despite having healthy blood flow, you're to move it, the body still needs energy. Maintain it and make it a reality. Our second vitamin comes into play here. And if you've ever experienced fatigue without knowing why, it could be the secret to restoring the vitality you've been lacking. Let's discuss the following 2 vitamins. B12. The energy B12. Several years ago, I had a generator. Robert was a 72-year-old retired patient. A proud grandfather and firefighter, but behind his tough exterior, he appeared weary. He said to me, "Doc, I slept for 8 hours. Despite eating my meals, I still feel as though my mind is dragging through the day. I'm confused, my body is exhausted, and when it's time, I simply don't want to be close to my wife. Possess it within me." His tale stayed with me, because it was so widespread and simple. Didn't see what Robert was explaining traditional vitamin B12 insufficiency. I observe this in many males over 60. Vitamins are essential for the generation of energy. Your body cannot function correctly without it. Turn food into energy that may be used without, regardless of how healthfully you eat or how much you lack of B12 in your system. As you sleep operates on empty and is essential in the production of red blood cells that transport oxygen to your brain and muscles. And yes, when such cells are in your sexual organs, not having everything slows down your focus dulls and your stamina wanes, so you might feel cut off from the objects themselves that once excited. The catch is that as you get older, your capacity to absorb B12 from food decreases even when consuming dairy, eggs, or meat. It might not be sufficient, which is why many older men experience fatigue, weakness, or confused even when they have all of their fundamental health indicators appear to be in good condition. In article, the answer may be unexpectedly straightforward: quality-based B12 increase supplements, or in certain situations, a physician-given injections can significantly restore muscular endurance and mental clarity and the feeling that I'm awake once again. Saw folks leaving their slumber in the afternoon to go hiking, having fun, and being completely present with all of their loved ones from fixing a flaw that they never knew they had. But energy isn't everything. Your body must be protected as well. Something that makes blood vessels stronger lowers inflammation and aids in the very hormones that characterize men. Herein lies the role of the third vitamin. It is frequently referred to as the reproductive vitamin, although its influence extends well beyond reproduction. In fact, without it, your circulation and testosterone may already possibly be sliding. Let's examine it more closely. Vitamin E3. Benefits of vitamin E for fertility. Defender. I recall talking to James, a 70-year-old former pilot, arrived at my clinic feeling irritated, and he informed me, bewildered, "Doc, I eat fine. I'm completing all the exercises correctly, but my drives have been odd lately, and I'm not returning to my former self, and to be honest, I don't feel like a man." Anything that really got to me, because James wasn't irresponsible or lazy, but disciplined, honorable, and dedicated to his health. Yet there was something he was lacking that even the majority of physicians hardly ever discuss. Vitamin E is not only a reproductive supplement or a supplement for the skin, it's a powerful, particularly with regard to male health. This vitamin is natural for people over 60. Antioxidant, which means it combats the inflammation and oxidative stress that silently harm your blood vessels, reproductive organs, and hormones as you age, at which blood clots due to inflammation, testosterone falls, and flow weakens. Energy crashes are not immediate, yet they are constant and unaware of it. Guys such as James start to lose their advantage. Vitamin E's significance stems from the capacity to maintain your blood vessels supple and have good circulation. Erections include more than just arousal. They deal with blood flow and the timing of when it cannot get to its destination. Performance is negatively impacted, but that's not all. Additionally, vitamin E aids in the production of testosterone more effectively, and following 60 is a lower number than ever before. The effects of testosterone are not limited to the bedroom, it impacts your motivation and mood. And awareness of the good news is that its restoring. Almonds are a simple and natural source of vitamin E. Leafy greens, sunflower nuts, and olive oil. Swiss chard or spinach are examples of greens that are outstanding resources, or, if required, a high-quality natural vitamin E supplement may be beneficial. Fill in the blanks. About men that I've observed months later, James returned with a smile, with greater strength and sharpness, and reconnected with life. You may be wondering what will happen now. When these three vitamins are combined, the result is they collaborate in a manner that amps up outcomes. The response is in the affirmative. Fact that when properly utilized, these nutrients can have a cascading impact that changes not just your vitality or erections, but your whole encounter with. Let's investigate aging. How and why these three vitamins are effective. Why these three vitamins complement each other better. I had a patient years ago who was named Walter, a retired high school teacher. He was 68. Coach who had consistently taken delight in keeping himself busy and focused, had been using vitamin D for some time before adding B12 following fatigue, and subsequently began incorporating vitamin E when I outlined its function in testosterone. Although not until he began consuming all three regularly and correctly amounts did something triggered in me. I recall him entering my office once in afternoon, beaming broadly and uttering, "I'm not sure what you did, Doc, but I feel as though I have a new engine." That's how synergy works. These vitamins aren't only effective, On their own, they reinforce and intensify each other's vitamin D levels. Circulation through an increase in nitric oxide red blood cells are increased by vitamin B creation that facilitates the passage of oxygen via that enhanced vitamin E, and circulation keeps the blood vessels safe and healthy. That both bear it all and assist control the testosterone that drives your desire and vitality by themselves play a part, but when combined, they produce the vitality triangle, as I refer to it, is hormone support and circulatory energy working in harmony, which is particularly crucial since your body doesn't bounce back as you mature. Returning to its previous nutrient-rich state, inflammation is slowed by absorption. Recovers more slowly, and one missing component might cause everything to go wrong. However, when you combine these three in equilibrium, your body begins to recall. You might discover how it used to feel. You feel more refreshed when you wake up. More concise in your response and quicker when it matters, not simply both physically and emotionally. Of trust comes back, and that's something that doesn't require a prescription. Produce Walter wasn't an anomaly. I've witnessed the identical change in innumerable males who consider these nutrients carefully and develop them in their regular activities, but here's what most men don't notice about these advantages because they are unaware of making a typical error that negates the exact advancements they are attempting to create. And you could be if you're not careful. Accomplishing things as well. Let's discuss what that error is and how to correct it. 5. The most common error made by men. The most common error made by guys. Make a man named Gerald one morning carried a plastic bag into my office. He was carrying a supermarket bag full of supplements. 74. Intelligent, well-written, and understandable, making every effort to manage his. He laid out the bottles on my health doc. I've been taking all of the months of them, but I still feel exhausted, hazy, and, to be honest, nothing's getting better over there. I could hear that his voice was disappointed, and I've heard it too many times. Prior to men's greatest error, particularly those over 60, is presuming that simply taking supplements is sufficient for them to purchase discounted, low-cost synthetic equivalents in shops or online, believing that all supplements are identical but not the same form. Vitamin quality and dosage ascertain whether your body truly either flushes it out or absorbs it and uses it. Away, consider vitamin B12, which most generic brands employ in a format known as cyanocobalamin. Many older men take cyanocobalamin. Unable to appropriately convert what you desire instead, the active ingredient is methylcobalamin, form that your body may use in the same way. Chooses vitamin D2 because it's less expensive yet far less efficient than vitamin D3, and synthetic forms may not have the complete spectrum that your body must sustain circulation and testosterone. One more error: inconsistent use of vitamins, either once or when you recall, twice a week isn't going to alter your body in a way that will last. It thrives on rhythm and requires constant assistance in reviving vitality and restoring blood. This is about hormone flow and equilibrium. Building a foundation every day rather than chasing a brief repair. When Gerald switched to improved forms and started taking them consistently, the distinction was dramatic. He informed me within a month that he was waking up more and sleeping better. Inspired, and his remarks felt like a once more, guy, that transformation didn't originate from putting in more effort, came from doing it. Now that you are aware of what functions to avoid, the next stage is to put that into action. You might be curious about it all. How can I truly incorporate this into my day without it getting complex? That's precisely what we'll talk about next. Any man may perform this straightforward, realistic routine. Adhere to in order to enhance energy performance and vitality each and every day. Let's construct your daily vitality. Is your plan 6. Your vitality routine every day. When I work with older males, I usually frequently one of the first questions they ask me with a mixture of hesitancy and optimism is, just give me daily instructions, document. I just need it, nothing complicated. Something that functions. I have a lot of respect for that question. Because the majority of males at this time of life are not seeking gimmicks or fads. Instead, they desire a plan that is simple, consistent, and makes them feel powerful. Once more, let me tell you about Frank. A former carpenter, age 66, arrived at myself following months of battling with low energy, restless nights, and declining self-esteem. We did not remodel his bedroom. Lives, we developed a fundamental yet effective regimen. About the vitamins that we have been discussing, and it was altered. Every morning, Frank would drink a full glass of water to begin his day. Then he took his B12 pill with her after breakfast, a high-protein breakfast. He'd go for a quick stroll outside in 15 minutes. Minutes in the sun to encourage the creation of vitamin D naturally. If it was overcast or cold, he utilized a superior vitamin D3 supplement that has a handful of almonds for his first meal, or he got his vitamin E from sunflower seeds. Accompanied by a little coating of olive oil over that was his lunch salad. No extremes, only little, intentional. Frank claimed to have options in a matter of weeks. More vitality to engage in play with his grandchildren, more desire to spend more time with his wife, and a feeling of assurance that had silently disappeared throughout the years. He felt more like himself than a child version, but one that is more powerful and grounded incarnation of the individual he was in actuality. You don't require a dozen medications or intricate rituals that the appropriate rhythm is necessary. The proper types of nutrition, and I'm still in control mentality of my well-being. Because now that we're done, I want to go. You have one last message for you. All men over 60 should listen, but if you've ever wondered, it rarely does. Perhaps it's too late to feel resilient. The answer is fully alive and desired once more. May surprise you, so let's discuss that. In conclusion, in summary, if you've read this far, I would like to talk to you for a moment. Not as a physician, but as a man who dedicated more than 30 years of sitting opposite males similar to you folks who have lived a full lives, men who have put up a lot of effort to raise families, left behind legacies that men today discover asking themselves, why doesn't my body feel as though? The question is not an indication of frailty, but rather that you're still searching and struggling for the connection, strength, and vitality. Things give life purpose, and that's something I really respect. We've discussed 3 vital vitamins, such as vitamin D, a spark plug for circulation that aids in opening your blood vessels and replenishing blood flow, where vitamin B12 is most important. The source of energy that powers your vitamin E, brain muscles, and endurance. The fertility guardian that keeps your heart, is a source of testosterone and maintains your system functioning properly. However, true power does not originate from being aware of their names. Where it originates incorporating them into your actuality. These nutrients don't just assist your physique, they assist your identity, self-assurance, and presence in your partnership, your capacity to I feel like myself again when I wake up. Witnessed it occur too frequently to be skeptical. I've observed men who were believed that their prime years were over. Them find another win that altered everything, so it's up to you now. You can use the information you've heard today to place it on a shelf or take action. You have the option to provide your body with what it has been subtly requesting, that you in the morning, take that stroll. Add for the purpose of saying yes to your well-being and to your future, as this is what I am aware of. Without a doubt, there is yet time. You still have time to feel even near stronger. You still have time to get back in touch. The man you are entirely confident in, and you've already taken action without saying sorry. The first step by arriving here right now. Now is the moment to take the next. If this video resonated with you, it was helpful, perhaps provided you with something to ponder. Instead, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button to let us know. Share material that is having an impact with a brother, friend, or anybody you care for who should hear this message. Then leave if you have a moment. Leave a comment below and tell me what spoke to you the most, or tell me what subject you would like me to discuss next. This space is shaped by your voice. If you want to help the channel and assist us in continuing to produce material for males, consider donating a little donation if you are over 60. Every penny helps to improve research, output, and connecting with more men who you're not merely observing. You need this. You're joining an organization, and it is a privilege to have you here. Please take good care of yourself, and I'll see you at the upcoming video.